All right, I'm just going to go out and say it. I have the worst, somewhat decent fantasy team, like, in the history of ever. And if you remember from the last couple episodes, well, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I don't know when it was, but the last time we had Seth on, we were talking about fantasy, and he was saying how he was going to blow everyone out of the water. Well, he was for real. He's blowing me out of the water currently by like 80 points. So in the playoffs, not really 80, it's like 40 a week, but in the playoffs, there's, I don't know if it's for other people, but for the ESPN fantasy, the playoff bracket goes for 2 weeks, and it's accumulation of those points, and literally Seth is blowing me out. But not really. My team just decided to poop the bed the last 2 weeks. Thank you, Jared Goff. I'm looking right at you, buddy. Really good job. Good job, bud. No, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Jared Goff. Really, really good. Who knew? Who knew that Jared Goff would throw 7 interceptions in the last 3 games, 6 in the last 2? Who knew? I didn't. And I really believed in him hard, too, because he throws 4 picks in the game against Chicago last week, and I'm thinking, okay, that was the worst one. He can't get any worse than that. He's going to come out and have a spectacular game next week against Philadelphia. Philadelphia is not that good. They're in the NFC East, the worst conference, worst division in all of football, and he's going to have a good game. No, absolutely not. Only 340 yards, 2 picks, and not even close to a touchdown. So thank you for only scoring 10 points, and what do you have, like negative point, like 3 last week? Ugh, disgusting. I literally hate him. I hate him. Saquon Barkley puts up 5.6, and then, of course, friggin' Jeff Wilson, who I wouldn't expect huge numbers out of, but he only had 2.6, and then Michael Thomas is playing as we speak, or as I'm speaking right now. He got like 5 points. It's not happening, folks. Juju's only got 4. Keenan Allen got hurt, so he got 0. New Orleans defense, though, 13 points. So let's see if they can hold it out. Proud of him. Really proud of him. No, but it's not happening. It's not happening for me. I think I'm out. That's it. I lost my $5. I know there's a lot bigger wagers on the line, but I lost. It's over. It's done. So I just want to come out right before this podcast even starts and say how terrible my fantasy team is over the last 2 weeks. I'm blaming Jared Goff from going from like a 25-point average to like, what's the, okay, hold up, we're going to have to do this. It's like a freaking 2 points, a 2-point game average. That's how bad that is. Yeah, so, gosh. Anyway, yeah, I didn't do a podcast last week. It was finals week. And, most of my audience, most of the Throne Room's audience is college kids. And so I knew no one was going to listen anyway. And I didn't have time to even do any research or look stuff up or record. I was grinding hard. But now that's over. Hopefully some of you, most of you, all of you are back home with your families. It's Christmas time. I haven't gone Christmas shopping. I need to do that. Hopefully I can go this weekend with my girlfriend. I haven't seen her in a while. Shout out. If you know, you know. But yeah, so we got to do that early because, geez, I'm trying to go Saturday. Of course, I went back to work today. I got to go Saturday, and that's what, like the 22nd? That's the 22nd. That's 3 days before Christmas. That's terrible. But that's how it is in the college life. You don't got time for literally anything, especially if you're in any sort of STEM field. It's like you spend 99.9% of your time studying, unless you're just a genius and you finish this stuff in like 8th grade, which I heard a story about at HEB. I was with my mom shopping, getting food, and if y'all have HEB or like Costco, they have like a sample machine, like free samples, but this one, it was free samples, and like the guy on the microphone is talking and like handing out food, and like you can hear it throughout the whole story. Yeah, this guy was he asked, because I had my A&M sweatshirt on, and he was asking me yeah, like you go to A&M, and I said, yeah, I do. And we got to have a conversation. He was like, yeah, I knew. Somehow I got to know somebody who had an 8-year-old son or daughter. I forgot which one it was. That like finished like college and like as an 8-year-old. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm just an idiot. I got a B in calculus, and I think I'm relatively smart. And an 8-year-old just blew me out of the water. So a lot of people just blowing me up. Seth Williams, an 8-year-old, same thing, really. Shout out Seth Williams for being an 8-year-old. But no, really good. It's good to be home. It's good to be back home. Haven't done a podcast at home ever. So shout out to the 210 San Antonio. If you know, you know. I don't know why I'm saying that. Gosh. Just say random stuff. Anyway, the NFL is wrapping up tonight. We got the Saints and the Panthers. I think Saints are currently winning right now. I haven't even checked. I'm pretty sure the Saints are winning as of 10:05 p.m. Central Time. Like I said, disappointing week for the Rams. Second straight loss in a row. However, the other Los Angeles team, the Chargers, beat Kansas City. So, yeah, there's a weird dynamic in the league right now, where there's a lot of 11-2 teams, 11-3. Chargers, Chiefs, both 11-3, and the Rams are 11-3 as well. Excuse me. Say excuse me. Do it. Say it. You okay? A lot of 11-3 matchups this week, and I wasn't expecting the Chargers to beat the Chiefs, but you know. Speaking of the Chargers, that team is very underrated. They're kind of the team that wins, and you don't really notice them winning, but they're winning. They're not a very flashy team. It's kind of like the Texans. Like you look up after watching high scoring games on Monday Night Football with the Chiefs and the Rams, and then you look up and you're like, oh my gosh, Houston's 10-4 for the first time in like ever. So proud of them, by the way. So proud of Houston, but man, they need to really protect their quarterback. It's disgusting. No, but yeah, but the Chargers are crazy. They win ugly. They win ugly. A lot of teams winning ugly this season. Houston's winning ugly. My gosh, Deshaun Watson's getting hit left and right. Colts are sort of winning ugly. Titans are winning ugly. That whole division, and Jacksonville's just a sad case. But yeah, no. But the Chargers are one of those teams, and Phillip Rivers is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in all of football. At least in my opinion. I mean, the guy, he's so quiet, and he just does it. He does his thing, gets it done. I was watching the Kansas City game early, and I think it was one of the first touchdowns that Mahomes threw. He took like 8 seconds. It took like 8 seconds to throw the ball. He rolled out to his right, and it just kind of looked like he was just sitting there. And watching football for a long time, the play felt like he was just gonna throw it away, like no one was open. And I think he caught the defense slacking a little bit because of how long it took, and he was just gonna kind of dump it out of bounds, like they normally do. But no, this guy found a receiver 8 seconds later, throws it, catches it, and everyone's just kind of like, "What the heck? How did they let that happen? What just? I don't know." And then they have a close up of Phillip Rivers, and he's saying something, and you can mouth out like, I can't believe that just happened. Like he's in shock that Patrick Mahomes is as talented as he is, the arm talent that guy has. And if I can poop on Jared Goff anymore, I'd say that he does not have any arm talent. I mean, he's just missing open receivers like downfield, and of course, 6 picks in the last 2 games. That's just terrible. Nick Foles coming in clutch for the Eagles. Proud of them. Not really. They're division rivals, so I could care less. Not that I really care about the Cowboys that much, but you know, it's just kind of a San Antonio thing. I think I've talked about that before. If you live in San Antonio, you got to be a Dallas fan. That's just how it is. It's weird. I think there's more Dallas fans. I saw a stat where it was like there's more Dallas fans in San Antonio than there are in Dallas, which is probably, I don't know. It might be true or not. I don't know. But yeah, Rams, tough time. I don't know if we can trust Goff going forward. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if they have quarterback troubles. I don't think so. I mean, the first 11 games we all watched as Jared Goff was lighting it up. I mean, 40-point games was his highest, and then, he had a 40-point game as his highest, and that goes all the way down to, a 25-point average on fantasy. So, I mean, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think every quarterback just goes through rough patches. This just happens to be really on the rocks, and he's got to keep just short-term memory about the whole thing and step back in going forward. And great players, great quarterbacks can do that. You have a bad stretch of games, and you keep playing. You keep playing out. That's what's going to have to take, because if I'm going to be right on my Super Bowl predictions, he's going to need to step it up tremendously. I'll tell you what. But yeah, so what that looks like for the Eagles going forward, a lot of things got to happen for them to be in the playoff picture. A lot of things got to happen. But it's possible. It's possible. I was thinking to myself, like, yo, if this happens, this is crazy. If this happens to where everything needs to happen that happens, and they get in the playoffs and they win again, I mean, it's gonna be something special. They have to beat Houston, a 10-4 Houston team. They have to beat Washington on the road. They got to beat Dallas. And, you got to beat Tampa, and you got to beat the Giants. Excuse me. No, you just got to beat Houston. Technically, you just have to beat Houston, Washington, and Dallas. You just got to win those three to win the NFC East, and that's a tough one. You're not going to beat Houston. You might get away with Washington, and with the way that Dallas played this weekend, I don't think they're going to play that bad in a long time. But I was wrong about Jared Goff when I said that, so who knows? But I don't know. Dallas, it's the first time they got shut out since like 2003. So, it might be it for Philadelphia, but I don't know. Underdogs. If they win the Super Bowl again out of these odds, I'll move to Philadelphia right now, I promise. But yeah, it might happen. It might not. A lot of things got to happen. A lot of things. They got to win 3 big games in the East. They're like last in the NFC East, so it's I think them and the Giants, of course. But yeah, no, it's oof. It's bad day for Jared Goff. Bad stretch. This just isn't his month. Not good. Anyway, speaking of underdogs, Baker Mayfield and company, the Cleveland Browns, beat Denver in Mile High Stadium. That's a tough place to play. You got altitude, you got elevation, you got it's not the most convenient place to travel to, and you get it done. Baker Mayfield, outstanding drive early fourth quarter to put him up 17-16. And it's a tight game. It was not a very pretty win, but it doesn't matter. You're Cleveland. You'll take a win if you can get a win. You're 6-7-1, and you might get in the playoffs. It's possible. It's very possible. You gotta win your division, of course. You got a couple more division games coming up, but you got to win those. And